What's up, guys? Time to show off a new build. This one is another screen printed dial, World War II pinup style. The atomic bell. So let's shift these around so you can see her a little bit. Obviously, play on atomic bomb. And then we did a dial matching lasered image on this super soft Italian green leather with painted edges. I did this in one of the barrel cases because I kind of associated it with kind of a bomb as well. So you got an 090 matte finished case, small coin bezel. I love the look since you don't have exposed lugs and they're underside lugs. I love putting these lug extensions on it to kind of make it come out from under. So lug extensions on that as well. Star engraved crown, star engraved milled caseback, and then let's see, we need to wind it up a little bit. And then since we had red highlights in here, and I don't really have a lot of green hands, they're more of like, there is a style out there of green hands, but it would have been a different kind of tone. So we would have been mixing a few, but had a nice drab green. It's an anodized aluminum, so straight on, it's nice and green, but at an angle has a nice reflection to it. Minute insert. And then I did a set of red PloProf hands with a long loom seconds hand, and then you have a star engraved preview buckle. And that is the build. So screw that back down since we've wound it. You've got a bidirectional bezel. These are tension ring. This is on there nice and tight, so you should not ever just bump it. If you want to move it, you are purposely moving it. I've got the tension ring kind of flared out to where it's rubbing aggressively on the case. It's very hard to get them set up that way and get them lipped on and snapped on to the case. So sometimes it's a play back and forth for a while to actually get them tight. And sometimes you can get them tight where they're so tight it's hard to get off, but they're still loose feeling on the case. So it's always a nice back and forth. But this one's actually on there nice and tight and has a nice solid turn to it. So automatic mechanical, you've got a rotor in the back, and as you move, it is moving too, and it is putting wind into the mainspring. But before you put it on, you want to wind it just a little bit, because if you're not active once you put it on, you'll set your time and then it might stop on you because you are not getting that rotor to even pendulum slightly, which is putting that wind to that mainspring. So back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking. You'll know that you are there because it's clicking and you've got a little bit of play, and you know you're off that crown tube. At that point, you can wind, and a wind is a turn that way. Turning it towards you does not wind it, but it is a lot easier to keep your finger spacing and go back and forth. If you do that for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on, that mixed with the rotor movement will keep your time throughout the day. But if you know you're not going to be very active at all, driving, sitting in a car, sitting at a desk, go ahead and do it a little bit longer. You will max out your 31-hour plus power reserve on it. You cannot overwind it. It has a slipping mainspring. So once you've put in the input needed to max it out and compress it, it will just deflect. So no worries there. You can wind all day if you want. When you're happy with that, you're going to pull it to the one and only click, and you can now set your time. You'll notice you do not have a hacking movement, so it's going to keep going. Your seconds hand. You'll also notice you've got a wobble crown. This will deflect lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement. And also the clutch system in that stem, once it's screwed down, it detaches. And if you get an impact into the crown, it does not transfer into the movement. So really cool thing that was engineered back in the probably 50s, I think, and used still today. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 12:58
12:58
p.m.
p.m. You're good. You're going to push this over, get it out of that time setting, and then wind it down. And that is your atomic bell. If it's going to you, congrats. It's It's also going to come in a star engraved slider box with a nice green plaid pillow in there. Come with matching beads. Now there's matching as close as you can get because there's a lot of colors in there. You got some nice red and yellow, some good drab greens, and some silver. But so that's the build. As with every build, you're going to get watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal parts. Everything here in the center, non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue, as well as a microfiber. You're also going to get leather conditioner to keep that strap perfectly soft. If you ever feel that it's not, apply it on the back and then work it in. This is Italian leather. It's nice and pliable. But if you ever feel that it's not, apply that. Don't use a microfiber. Use a rag or something. Let it soak in. Work it in. Let it sit. You'll also get some fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon, just repackaged. It's for your acrylic glass because you can scratch it. It's a domed acrylic glass. If you do, put a tiny bit of this on it and buff it out with your color matching microfiber. If the scratch is up and down, just go left and right, filling that scratch, kind of like you're dealing with drywall mud. Don't go with the scratch, go against the scratch, filling it. Haze it, buff it out. If it's still there, wait a little bit, let that solidify, and then revisit it again. You will build that back up. If it's really deep, which I don't ever have many people that do that, it's normally like a brushing kind of situation. If you ever have it super deep, you might have to send it to me to replace it. But I've only had one person ever in 1,200 some builds ever have to do that. And he nailed it into a like closed door, like right into the handle, and did some damage. So that's the build. If it is going to you, congrats. I hope you love it. And if you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out. I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.